The following is a presentation of Flow Sports.
The calendar turns to March, but we still have one more day of college baseball at the 2026 Amegy Bank College Baseball Series from the home of the Texas Rangers in Arlington. A triple header on tap, and it all begins with Virginia Tech out of the ACC looking for a first victory this weekend against 20th ranked Tennessee. Still to come today, the marquee matchup, a couple of top four teams, UCLA and Mississippi State, while Arizona State and Texas A&M battle it out in the nightcap with all games right here on Flow College. Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside Globe Life Field. Final day across 3 weekends here of college baseball action alongside Greg Swindell, the former big leaguer. I'm Ben Wilson. There was some nerviness around the Tennessee program coming into yesterday. They'd lost 3 of 4, including their opener Friday, but talk about a bounce back with a 5-3 win over Arizona State.
A big win. You say big win, a much needed win, as you said, for Tennessee yesterday against Arizona State. Another one, they can win the weekend with a win today over Virginia Tech. And Virginia Tech, on the other hand, trying to salvage the weekend. They played good late in the game yesterday against Mississippi State, looking to keep that momentum going and take a W back to Blacksburg.
Hokies did hit 5 home runs yesterday, albeit in a 15-8 loss. Came a little too late in the game against Mississippi State, and they'll take on another really solid ranked SEC team as we take a look at the Hokies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Amegy Bank. They hit those 5 home runs yesterday, including 2 guys who are off the bench in Anderson French and Sam Gates, and those 2 are rewarded with starts this morning in the 7 and 9 holes. Ethan Ball also hit a big moonshot the other way off the batter's eye in left center. He's back in the lineup hitting third. Hokies taking on another talented hurler. It's Evan Blanco, the veteran for Tennessee, who is off the mend from injury when he was a pitcher for Virginia, transferring in. Was tremendous, though. You go back just a couple years ago, Greg, and that 2024 campaign, he was a huge part of a Virginia team that made it to Omaha. And he starts us off. The first pitch fastball just a bit upstairs as we're underway, a little past 10:30 here on a Sunday morning in Arlington.
Big pickup for Tennessee, getting Blanco, got him and Henry Ford to come over from Virginia. Good left-handed arm, got good control with the fastball, excellent changeup.
It speaks to the arsenal Blanco has, that he can sit in the upper 80s yet keeps you so off balance. You will not see the fastball get much higher than about 90 as he goes slider upstairs 2-1.
I talk about that a lot with a day where velocity means everything to people, and then you see an Evan Blanco who might not break 90 with the fastball go out there and pitch and not throw.
Moxie and feel, that is the 2 main descriptors when you talk to Josh Elander and his staff. But it's a bit of a shaky start here. Fastball up high a couple occasions, and then that one comes up and in and plunked Sam Grube, a leadoff hit by pitch.
That one running up, way up and in. 3 of those pitches in that at bat, up and in, out of the zone. This one just clips him with the groove right on the shoulder there. Good for Virginia Tech, getting the leadoff runner on.
It's the third start of the year for Blanco, 1-1 record, but had been really good. Command has been in and out at times. 6 walks in his 9 innings pitched. However, he has struck out 17 in those 2 starts. He digs in to face Nick Locurdo. My big question today, Greg, for Virginia Tech, they looked a little overmatched through a game and a half. Bats finally started to heat up. It was just too late. And how can that carry over into today against another really good staff?
Well, it's huge. It just shows that they're not going to give up. They didn't give up yesterday. They were an out away from being run ruled, and then got a couple more at bats and put 6 more runs on the board yesterday. So the momentum is in their dugout, even though it was a loss yesterday.
That could have been back-to-back run rule outings for Virginia Tech. Hokies lost to Texas A&M Friday 10-0. This feels like an important game for the Hokies as well today because they have conference play starting very early, and not only does it start next weekend, they have to go on the road to the preseason favorite Georgia Tech. So this is really their last major tune-up. They'll have one midweek game against Marshall, but you talk about a really important stretch early in a season for head coach John Sheff.
And that's the thing. At this point, you got, as you said, you got the conference starting next week. You want to just get your act together, so to speak. Pitch well, field the ball well, play deep. I mean, hit the baseballs. A lot going into today for Virginia Tech.
Locurdo with a pop-up that will stay in play down the right field line, grabbed by Reese Chapman for the first out of the day. Now, if there's somebody who looks like he's in midseason form, it's this uber talented freshman Ethan Ball. And what he did yesterday going opposite field and how locked in Tomas Valinkis had been. Ball took him up and out, solo homer in the 6th, and it was easy power.
He leads the team in hits, leads the team in RBI. I mean, he's not showing that he's a freshman early on.
Grubober at first has only attempted 1 steal and did snag a base earlier this year.
An eye on him over there, though.
Showing bunt here, and he fouls it off.
Ford playing fairly deep at third base.
This was how it sounded off the bat. 448, they measured that.
This big boy land out there. This is a long way. You can see it's been pelted a few times out there. Not sure if BP or game, but a lot of marks on that ball.
Another throw over to first. When he came on campus in fall, John Sheff made a very big comparison. He said he could easily become another Carson DiMartini, and that's the sort of guy who, I mean, just mashed for 3 seasons, had an OPS of nearly 1,100.
And not putting any pressure on the kid.
Not to put any pressure.
But he seems to welcome it.
I don't think he would have said it if the talent was not there. And Ethan Ball is off to a great start. And you think back to DiMartini, and he was somebody who really anchored a Virginia Tech offense. It was one of the best in the country. Top 10 across all metrics. Made it to Supers in 2022. Swing and a miss. Runners on the move. Good throw, and it's perfect. They nab Grube at second as Levi Clark guns him down.
Well, that's why you keep an eye on him. They got a good jump. Read the leg kick right there, but that's a strong throw by Clark. Missed the tag on the end, but got the call. You see the double sweep right here. Went to tag him, went back to tag him. Had to turn around to see if he got the call, and he did.
That's the 4th time a Tennessee catcher has already gunned down a man this year. And it came on a slider, no less. Levi Clark making sure all the Pitch comm and signs are good to go from the dugout. Doesn't lay off the slider in the dirt. Take a look at the Tennessee defense behind the pitcher Evan Blanco. They've done a really solid job this weekend. A .975 fielding percentage on the season. Ariel Antigua was a defensive replacement at second yesterday. He gets the start on the right side of the infield today as another slider misses just outside. And Levi Clark is back in there after getting yesterday off from a catching perspective. They had Stone Lawless behind the dish. Swing and a miss. Back to the slider. And Blanco works out of the opening batter hit by pitch, with the Tennessee Vols coming to the plate for the first time.
The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back? You've got some nerve showing up here again, looking all delicious with your fresh all-beef patties, melty cheeses, grilled peppers and onions, and jalapeno ranch. When I want you, you're nowhere to be found. And now you're back? Aw, get in here. We just missed you, that's all. The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back and harder to resist than ever. Download the app. What a burger!
Bowman Engineering and Consulting and their dedicated Amagi business banker worked together to put the us in business banking, which included the occasional lunch meeting. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amagi business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing. With comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, planning sessions whenever you need them. Here, we collaborate. Here, you grow.
At Globe Life, we have policies for almost everybody.
Welders?
Yes.
Farmers?
Yes.
Rodeo clowns?
No, we don't cover rodeo clowns.
Construction workers?
Yes.
Electricians?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Not rodeo clowns.
Factory workers?
Yes.
Chefs?
Yes.
Birthday clowns?
Yes.
Ah, come on!
Globe Life Insurance. Affordable coverage for almost everyone.
Tennessee Vols coming to the plate for the first time. A look at their starting lineup brought to you by Amagi Bank. Here, you grow. Jay Abernathy off to a tremendous start, just like he was in 2025. Leading the way among the starters today at over 400, while we'll get a chance to see Henry Ford back in the two-hole. The Virginia transfer coming in. Ford had an RBI single in the second inning. Blaine Brown also had a late key double. Ended up scoring on a sac fly that gave Tennessee an important insurance run in the ninth inning against Arizona State. And that is your 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Vols. Standing in there and taking a first pitch slider outside against the highly touted freshman Ethan Grimm, native of Pennsylvania, in his third career start. They haven't stretched him out a ton so far, Greg, but the numbers have been impressive. Just 3 earned in 7 innings.
The true freshman is Ethan Grimm. Good fastball. You saw a little cutter right there, a little backdoor cutter from Grimm. Good depth. Normally that slider can get down and under a left-handed bat. Velocity 88 to 92, can reach it to 94, 95.
Here he fires into the zone for the first time, sitting 91 there. And back in the fall, the new pitching coach in Blacksburg, Doug Willey, had said he's really got the pieces to be something special. Super excited about him. You see a fastball get past Abernathy right there, 2-2.
You know, already fastball has good movement on it, left to right, good sink. Occasional changeup in the mix. Mainly sticks with that good running fastball, slider, and curveball.
The big thing to watch for Grimm is you see the numbers this year. Pretty good command. Misses a lot of bats, 12 strikeouts. It's being able to throw multiple pitches for strikes. They say that's the next step. And there's a strike right there. Fastball right past Abernathy. for the first out in his 13th K. Here's how Virginia Tech lines up behind him. In a shaky start in the field, they've made 10 errors in 10 games. They do have a lot of speed out in the outfield. Trayson Hughes in center. We saw Sam Gates and Anderson French came in late yesterday, and they both get rewarded with starts. French behind the dish, Gates out in right field. Henry Ford takes a called strike.
Jim had to get that first strike in there. Now going nothing but strikes. Important to get strike one. Kind of sets up the entire at bat. Any pitch at any time after you get ahead of a hitter.
Towering fly ball here into shallow right center for the second out. And that's the thing that got Virginia Tech in trouble over these first two games. Give up the 10 runs to Texas A&M, 15 to Mississippi State. You have another really high-powered offense. When we've seen the Hokies fall behind in counts, they've really gotten themselves in a pickle.
But hitters get themselves in hitters' counts, and pitchers, you don't want to give in. You don't want to walk. You got to make them earn it, and that's what's been happening. It's not more about the pitch selection for the Hokies this weekend. It's more about the location. When they're falling behind, they have to throw the ball over the plate, and a lot of times it's been a hittable pitch.
And you 7 pitchers yesterday. There were 10 walks, 4 hit by pitches in the game from the Hokie staff. So they would love nothing more than to see Ethan Grimm maybe get stretched out a little bit. He's gone 4 innings and 3 2/3, but has not topped 75 pitches yet. Just misses to Blaine Brown. And a 1-1 count. We're just underway, first of 3 today. A pair of 7-3 teams, the 20th all-time meeting between Virginia Tech and Tennessee. It's fouled straight back. Actually haven't played since 2013, the Hokie Smoky Classic in Greenville, Tennessee. And there's a nice ring to it, but they haven't played. Let's get it back, guys. Come on. 10-9 is the all-time series lead for Virginia Tech. What a start for Ethan Grimm, the freshman, pounding the zone with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. He strikes out Blaine Brown and goes 1, 2, 3. There are the Hokie fans making the trip to Arlington. Virginia Tech coming back to the plate as we go to the second.
The appetite for destruction returns. Guns N' Roses World Tour 2026. One night. Globe Life Field, September 9th. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
We've seen touchdowns and we've seen home runs, but Arlington has never seen speed like this. A stampede of drivers who fear nothing and no one. Crowds that match the volume of 700 horsepower. A spectacle built between 2 of the most iconic stadiums on earth.
How cool.
This ain't our first rodeo, but it might be our fastest.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
Nothing game going to the second. It's our M&G Bank College Baseball Series, and we're so pleased to be joined right now by first-year coach of the Vols, Josh Elander, with us. And Josh, thanks for doing this. We saw Levi Clark, just an absolute cannon, great throw to swipe Sam Grube there in the first. What's it meant having him not only as an everyday hitter, such tremendous power, but also leading a pitching staff who's got a lot of new faces this year after you guys had all 3 of your weekend starters leave last year?
Yeah, no, Levi's been great. That was a good throw to cut down that runner at second. But, again, I think he's fully capable of being a 1 in the SEC. And Stone has done a great job. But, again, that was good to see out of the gate. But, again, he's going to control the game right there, keep the ball in front, and he's catching it well. So that's good to see as we get going here on Sunday.
Coach, yesterday, I wouldn't call it a must-win, but a much-needed win for your ball club, beating Arizona State in that game.
Yeah, they're just a great club. I mean, they get some firepower coming out of that bullpen, right? Some good breaking balls, some different looks. But, again, I think the more games we can play where, again, we're in it, again, where it's back and forth, or it's a little bit of tension, how can our guys handle that? And, again, going back to Levi Clark, I thought he did an amazing job getting that sac fly and giving Appy some breathing room down the stretch, and he was really good for us as well.
Well, certainly with the move, we got Brian O'Connell going to Mississippi State. Bulldogs have looked really good this weekend. You guys were able to get a couple of those prized recruits from Virginia, and we're seeing one of them on the mound right now, and Evan Blanco. What's the transition been like for him as he gets the strikeout here at Trayson Hughes?
Yeah, just a really good makeup, right? Again, some professionalism and how he goes about his day-to-day. And then, again, he's week to week. Last week he didn't have the best command, but he's always going to compete and give you a chance, right? So he wants stability going into Sundays. And then, Henry Ford, I mean, he's pretty dang special, man. I think the best for him is yet to come this year, but those two I'm very thankful that are in our dugout.
Third game here this weekend. Have you guys enjoyed yourself down here? And it's been a great tournament, but out away from the ballpark.
Yeah, it's just a great venue. I mean, the live that they have right outside the stadium. I know a lot of our guys have their families here, which has been great. But, again, with everything that goes with the tournament, you love the competition here, right? You get punched in the mouth on Friday night, play a close game yesterday, and then got a chance to go in a 1-1 game on Sunday and see how we compete, right? So it's really got everything you're looking for, and it's a great event.
It is wild. I mean, March 13th, going to be here very soon. You guys go to Athens, and it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, no, it's right around the corner. I think as much competition, as much baseball this team can play, we're all for it. But, again, you have to go kind of a day at a time, right? And, again, we got 5 games on deck next week. And, like I said, the more we can play, the better going into SEC. As we got some guys coming back, too, from injury that I'm excited to get back in the mix here soon.
Absolutely. Blaine Brown with a catch out there in left. Well, wish you all the best, Coach. Really appreciate the time here, and best of luck going forward.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
So 2 up, 2 down for Evan Blanco. Gets Lutterman off the end of the bat. And Owen Petrich now digs in. Really positive start here for Blanco after he had that shaky first batter.
A shaky first batter hitting Grube and putting him on, but got picked up by his catcher Levi Clark, and now just settling in, retiring the last 4, 2 by strikeout.
Swing and a miss on the changeup. They drop Petrich from 5th to 6th in the batting order. Hitting .289 on the early season for Virginia Tech, the St. Joe's transfer. And it's 1-1. Now both teams coming in 7-3. Virginia Tech won 7 of their first 8. They were all in single non-conference games, didn't play any true tournament settings, as this one's nubbed foul. But God, I think for John Sheff, who we'll talk to as well in a little bit, even though the results have not been there, these are the sorts of moments and experiences that you kind of need to prepare your team for one of the toughest conferences in the nation.
I've always thought you learn more from losing than you do winning. You find out a little bit more about your team in situations like this weekend.
Now Evan Blanco is dialed in. 3 strikeouts the last 4 batters he's faced. Off to a sparkling start here in Arlington.
Every shot starts with belief. Something extraordinary can happen. Shriners Children's provides hope, healing, and the chance to dream big. They never allow the ability to pay to compromise the care children receive. Shriners Children's empowers the extraordinary, and you can too. Join me in supporting this life-changing cause and help provide the most amazing care anywhere.
The biggest weekend in rodeo is coming to Arlington, Texas. The American Rodeo Championship Weekend returns May 22nd and 23rd at Globe Life Field, with special live performances from 2-time Grammy-nominated Midland on Friday and country superstar Chris Young on Saturday. This is rodeo at its finest, and the only place to experience it is Globe Life Field. Don't wait. Tickets are on sale now at AmericanRodeo.com.
Winter, the only season you can't see a go-ahead home run. Can't witness a filthy strikeout.
Holy moly!
Can't even experience a walk-off.
That ball is history!
And you're reminded there really are only 2 seasons, winter and baseball.
How about that?
So how do you win your winter? You get ready for baseball. Single game tickets now on sale, all for Texas.
Both pitchers off to solid starts. Ethan Grimm back out there for a Virginia Tech team who won 7 of their eight first games, and have a ninth year head coach, and John Sheff has won over 200 games in his time in Blacksburg. Well, it's been a tough weekend so far. The run rule Friday, they were in danger of being run ruled against Mississippi State, but were able to rally, at least get a few runs on the board, get some confidence here going into Sunday with the 5 homers. And getting a nice start out of the chute here from a young pitcher in Ethan Grimm. The freshman does not exactly look like it on the mound.
No, he's polished. I mean, look at him, just not even sweating yet this morning. Nice and easy. I go back to learn more about when you lose than you do when you win, and this is a test for Virginia Tech. This ball game today, they've been punched in the mouth. Punched him out twice this weekend. Tried to make it come back yesterday, but just couldn't do it. So you can find out what your team is made of this morning against Tennessee.
Slider just misses on 0-2. That's certainly a gauntlet. You think about 3 games, 3 different SEC teams, all ranked in the top 25.
Not an easy task.
2 of them undefeated coming in as Clark tags this one to center. Does Hughes have enough room? He just does in front of the track. That would be out in a lot of ballparks, not at Globe Life. 404 to dead center.
This ballpark is a fly ball pitcher's best friend. A lot of green grass out there. 407 gets out to 410. Kind of in the center, like I guess there's center gaps out there, but a lot of room, and that one 3 or 4 feet from being out of the park.
There's a look out there. 407 to dead center. Called strike taken. It's also why so many coaches and programs love coming here, because it does somewhat simulate the look at Omaha, where all year, not to say every ballpark in college baseball is a bandbox, but we have a lot of them in the SEC especially.
Yes.
You get a lot of cheap home runs, high scoring games. Then you go to Omaha, all of a sudden it's a lot of 2-1, 3-2 sort of well pitched games, and the gap to gap sort of ability becomes at an extreme premium.
All of a sudden you hit a ball like that, think you got it, but then you got to remember where you are.
Yep, Reese Chapman offers. That is quick work made of Chapman by Ethan Grimm for the second out.
Third strikeout for Grimm. Someone check swing, got the call down there from third base umpire Mark Hutchison. Yeah, I've called games in Athens, called games in Fayetteville, and those are hitters' ballparks. And then you look on the pitcher side of that, and they've had good pitching staffs as well. They learn to adapt and pitch to their ballpark, and then you get to this ballpark or get to Omaha, and all of a sudden you can throw the ball down the middle and you can try to hit it as far as you want. A lot of times the wind's blowing in.
Swing and a miss here by Myatt, and it's 0-2. That certainly qualifies as well in Knoxville, where the Vols play. They're undergoing stadium renovations right now. That one runs inside. Interesting to see here the 2 strike shift. We saw it in the last batter. They move Owen Petrich, the third baseman. He is going to the right side of second base so they can keep Pete Daniel in his traditional shortstop spot. And that one's just upstairs. 2-2 to Myatt. Now, Grimm had a brief injury in the fall, had a tweaked calf, but he has come back and looked excellent. Ties up Myatt, who offers again. 6 batters faced, 6 outs, 4 punch outs for Ethan Grimm. The freshman is dealing here at Globe Life.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger, like the new Big Ranch Wrap, a crispy chicken strip, buttermilk ranch, cheese, and fresh veggies in a warm tortilla. Or go bigger with 5 premium Whata chicken bites. Or go bigger than big with our Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. with fresh 100% beef and melty cheese. Make it even bigger with fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a big deal. The What a Deal, now at What a Burger. Download the app.
Naylor Industries and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, focusing on their business needs with lightning speed. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, a banking partner who is just as invested in your growth as you are. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Forrest Frank, the Jesus Generation Tour. Live in a 360 in the round experience. With special guests Tori Kelly, Corey Asbury, plus the Figs. On sale now at forrestfrank.com. Don't miss the Jesus Generation Tour with Forrest Frank.
Jesus is coming back.
Produced by TPR.
There's a look at the Hokie fans making the trip from Blacksburg to Arlington. We go to the top of the third, 0-0 between Virginia Tech and Tennessee. What a great start it's been for both pitchers. Evan Blanco and Ethan Grimm have each faced the minimum so far, Craig. Got 7 combined strikeouts. Been really impressive.
Yeah, they have both Grimm and Blanco. When you're getting check swings, that means it's tough to pick up. You're not seeing the ball out of their hand, and both strikeouts by Grimm last inning were check swings and got the call.
Yeah, no doubt. And Anderson French leads off this inning. We're joined right now by John Sheff, ninth-year head coach of the Hokies. And if we didn't know any better, John, we'd think Ethan Grimm was like a draft-eligible junior. I mean, with how polished he's looked out there today.
He's pretty good. I mean, he was one of those guys that probably could have, signed for a lower number, or maybe even a higher number coming out of high school. But, we were fortunate to have him here. So.
Coach, first 2 games here in Arlington not going your way. You got to really appreciate the way your team dug in towards the end of the game yesterday, but you can find out a lot about what's going on in that dugout by games like today coming back after the first 2.
Yeah, no, we 6 of our first 7 wins were come from behind, so we've played a lot of tight games coming into this. Now, obviously, the opposition, here is a little different, but it's all right. I mean, this is kind of what we'll face on the weekends when we're dealing with the ACC. When we get with Georgia Tech next weekend, and my hope is that this can kind of get us ready for that.
Yeah, no doubt. Watch Ethan Grimm off to a great start on the mound. You have a new pitching coach this year, new pitching performance and analytics director as well. So Doug Willey comes in. What sort of element has he brought that you didn't have in years past?
I don't know. I mean, Doug's done a really good job with our guys as far as. We were kind of looking for a guy that had, experience on the college side, which he had, at Arkansas, and then Xavier in his own staff at Xavier. He's got some pro ball in his background too, so it was a combination of that, and obviously he handles the analytical side and technology very well. So it's kind of like a 3-pronged type thing. He's messed with Chase Loomis really well on the analytics, and is really kind of taken to developing our staff, old, young, and it's been a good combo, those 2 guys together.
Sure thing. Well, we appreciate you joining us here throughout the weekend, Coach. Wishing you all the best here going forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And a 3-2 count right now to Pete Daniel after Anderson French strikes out to begin the third.
And Coach Sheff, right there, you don't just look at a pitching coach now that's going to help the pitchers. You got to learn the analytics, the computer. I mean, you got to know all these things outside of baseball.
Change up on 3-2. That misses low, and Pete Daniel does draw a walk. It is something that you are seeing more and more college programs go towards as we get into a place where, as so many people will say it, you get drafted, go to the minors, it is a step down amenity-wise, travel-wise than where you're at in the college game. And it's kind of like the arms race you see in football with facilities that we always talk about in college football. It is really also kind of translated into the baseball world.
Yeah, it's changed the trajectory of everything. You have analytical teams. 5, 6. Some of them could be students. A lot of them are ex-ball players that are well equipped in that computer ease, I guess you can call it. Yeah, it's a whole new ball game from obviously back in dinosaur days when I played college baseball.
Sam Gates watches a called strike. And Chase Loomis, who John Sheff was referencing, he's their new director of pitching performance and analytics. They brought in 2 new faces, including the guy who oversees it in Doug Willey. And Tennessee certainly had a lot of shuffling to do. It was not necessarily their decision because of the loss of Tony Vitello and how the timing worked too, and being hired in mid-October by the San Francisco Giants. And he also took their longtime pitching coach Frank Anderson along with him, as well as director of sports performance Quentin Eberhardt. So he had 3 pieces. Obviously everybody would talk about the actual head man himself and Vitello, but those were 3 guys so crucial to a Tennessee program that has been on the rise the last decade. And that's part of the challenge for Josh Elander as he watches his pitcher get a check swing. No offer though, and it's 1-1.
Talked about it just being in October. That's not a lot of time to be ready. You need to, and be comfortable. You're not making excuses for Tennessee with their 3 losses on the year, but it does take time to get to know Josh as a head coach, get to know new coaches, new analytical people, new teammates.
They were in the middle of their Fall World Series, and you had recruiting going on, signing days. And it was as Josh Elander would tell you, it was a weird time. That one comes up and in, 2-1 to Sam Gates. I think a lot of people will naturally want to make the comp to Texas A&M last year, who had lost Jim Schlossnagle, goes to Texas, bringing a new head coach who is relatively unproven. As this one's a little flare up the middle, that'll hang up there and caught for the second out by Marin. I don't know if it's a totally fair comp to make, and the reason why people make that is, okay, Tennessee struggled a little bit out of the gates. We saw A&M #1 preseason last year. So many injuries, they didn't even make the tournament, but A&M had a lot more returning production last year than Tennessee has coming back this year, even though there are certainly a lot of good players still there in Knoxville. So it doesn't feel totally apples to apples to say this Tennessee team will surely befall a similar fate that A&M did last year. That seems a little too getting ahead of ourselves.
Last year, A&M, injury. They had the injury bug, and that's what Jay Slaffelette went down, Sorrell went down, Grohovac went down early. When you lose those 3 for a while, it's going to hurt your ball team. Staying healthy, that's one of the reasons coming into this year A&M wasn't ranked because of the injuries last year, how last year ended up. But they're proving this year that they're going to try to stay healthy as much as they can and change things back to where, hey, we still are a really good ball team. We've seen that this weekend. Last night they took one on the chin, but they're a good ball team.
We'll see A&M a little later today. We see home plate umpire in Greg Harmon coming out. Chris Koski at first, Matthew Anderson at second. We've seen Mark Hutchinson at third already today. Alvin Blanco is not afraid to be extremely deliberate over there, making sure the runners are not getting a good jump. As he gets a foul tip from Sam Grube, and we saw how that manifested. Grube was caught stealing after a bunch of throws over in the first.
More times you throw over, though, it gives the runner more times to study your leg kick.
And that is a balk.
We came to a complete stop right there. Like he came to the belt and picked his leg up and went home. You have to have a little bit of a stop when you come set.
So that gives our first runner in scoring position today. Now a little nubber, could be a tough play. Blanco, the scoop in time, handled really well. Able to collect himself after the balk and strands Daniel at second base. 0-0, still looking for our first hit of the day to the bottom of the third. Nice play off the mound by Ethan Blanco.
Woodcraft and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, creating a long-lasting relationship with open and quick communication. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer. We're more than a bank, and together we'll work to help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, the support you need to reach your business goals faster. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
Every at-bat.
That one is gone!
Every pitch.
Got him swinging!
Every angle.
He will score, and the Rangers are in front!
From pregame to postgame. From the truck to the booth.
I hope you're fired up at home, sitting on the couch watching your favorite baseball team.
It all starts here. Rangers Sports Network, the official home of Rangers baseball.
The Rangers Foundation is really proud to support our community where they need us and when they need us. Crowds are bigger each year, and we're able to bring our donors in, and with the silent and live auction, we've raised almost $9 million to give back to our community.
Every year I come and support our organization. That's what we do best, helping the community.
Both pitchers locked in as we go to the bottom of the third. On one side, Evan Blanco in Tennessee. On the other side, Ethan Grimm in Virginia Tech. Here's how the Vols have fared so far to Josh Elander, named head coach on Halloween of last fall. They had lost 2 of 3 to Kent State at home, dropped their first game to UCLA on Friday, the bounce back yesterday, and a 5-3 win over Arizona State. And with the bottom of the order due up, it's been up and down non-con, but for Tennessee, certainly the game yesterday against Arizona State, and the quality on both sides, that was played to the level of a regional game on both ends of it.
Well played game. I mean, a lot of times we've seen double figures, we've seen run rolls. But yesterday was a nice 5-3 ball game. You got a run late in the game to give you an insurance run, so things went well for Tennessee in that game to get a much-needed win.
2-1 count here to Chris Newstrom, who digs in, facing off against a pitcher in Ethan Grimm, who's really firing on all cylinders, something that Virginia Tech sorely needed. Fouled off 2-2. Hokies as a staff giving up a combined 25 runs in 16 innings here out of the gates. So Grimm's a guy, as he settles in, ticketed for a Sunday starter role, and for a freshman, you think about how important that role can be, how many series end up being splits going into Sunday.
No, I mean, if you got to face this young man on a Sunday, that's going to be a pretty good pitching staff, in my opinion.
And a great play by Hughes out there in center. It helps when you got the leather flash behind you. And we mentioned Hughes covers a lot of ground out there in center, and he shows it off.
Going to get a lot of plays like that when you throw strikes. Those strikes keep your defense on their toes and get a good play behind you like that from Grayson Hughes. So far in the game, 4 strikeouts and 3 fly balls to center field.
And Hughes, the one guy getting a workout out there in the field for Virginia Tech, as Manny Marin takes a called strike. Marin had an expanded role last year as the season went on. Started 45 games, 26 of them came in SEC plays. He works the count to 1-1.
And that cutter inside. Slider on the board, but have much movement to it right there.
You talk about depth all the time. There's also a sharpness, a crispness to the movement that Grimm has with that pitch. He jams him in on the hands. Went back to the fastball, and it's popped up on the infield with Petrich.
The crispness you're talking about, crispness, hard to say. That you can tell the hitters, it freezes them for a second. And then that late break over the plate.
It's all really subtle, but in this game especially, an aluminum bat world that we live in college baseball, you have to have that next layer of movement, tightness with your spin to be effective, and we've seen that from Ethan Grimm so far.
The hitter has less than a second to make a decision.
And he gets Ariel Antigua, who's an outstanding defender. Did not play the last time Tennessee came here to Globe Life. He was on that national championship winning roster. Was out with a hand injury at the time, and takes a ball inside. Wave and a miss. Big hack on 2-0.
Had his mind made up right there before the ball came out of Ethan Grimm's hand. He's swinging, waiting on a fastball, just chased it up out of the zone.
He was a top 10 overall recruit out of the state of Pennsylvania last year.
That's the one we're talking about right there. That looks like it's coming inside. You saw Antigua just kind of give up on it in that late crispness right over the plate for a strike.
It's a good tight slider, 2-2. He has really lived on the inner half against righties. Gets the poke to the right side. Backhand dive by Grube. Underhand flip, but Antigua beats it out. That was straight speed rocketing down the first base line.
Everything done right on this play. Antigua with a good job of just putting the ball in play. Excellent slider location from Grimm, hustling down the line. Little flip there, just a little too much air underneath it from Grube. See Grimm have to reach back a little bit, and the hustle right in front of the foot of Grimm on that green bag down there at first. Little too much air on the toss. A good hustle by Antigua. First base hit of the game for the Vols.
As Jay Abernathy is asking for his dugout to maybe take a look, he's saying, I think I got hit there. And they will take a look on the slider running inside on the lefty. Now, this is the benefit of the review system. Jay Abernathy was pretty convinced that it did catch a piece of him. Let's see.
Nicked the kneecap there. Immediately kind of hopped up on one leg. I think it just nicked his back kneecap. Turn around.
So our umpiring crew will go ahead and take a look.
Puts the ball right at the end. It's going to carry him just slightly back to the right.
Yeah, if it did it, it's incredibly faint. But again, you never, you always feel like, especially if in today's world where you actually have to use a challenge, if the hitter is that adamant, you sort of assume to trust him on that. The question is, can you tell obviously that it did hit him? I'm inclined to believe it did. It's a big call too, because if this goes Tennessee's way and it's overturned, from basically out of nothing, a pitcher just dealing on the mound, you'd put 2 on with 2 out for Henry Ford, one of the most dangerous hitters in the country.
Couple base hits yesterday in the ball game. Best third baseman. D1 Baseball has the third baseman ranked. He's in the top 5 according to D1 Baseball.
And no longer do we get any of the viral videos, the guys trying to sell hit by pitches like from back in the day.
Doesn't fly anymore.
Does not fly. No. John Sheff looking on.
Player from Ole Miss a couple years ago, they got tossed because he said the ball hit him and it never
yeah.
hit.
You would not put up with that when you're pitching. You're like, hey, we're not going there, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get hit, I'll hit you.
Yeah.
We can make sure that happens.
That was obviously an option, clearly. All right, here comes the call. stands. Yeah, I just don't know if there was enough to definitively say on this look. I mean, I don't know that it really changes direction enough. You can't really tell with the spin.
Not enough to overturn it.
I don't think Jay Abernathy was lying. I don't think there was enough evidence. So he sticks in there after showing bunt originally. It's a 1-0 count. After our first hit of the game, a little infield single from Ariel Antigua.
If anything, showing bunt brings in from third, opening up the hole a little bit more between short and third.
Pretty good move over there from Ethan Grimm. That one runs outside. It's not the first power conference team Grimm has pitched against. He pitched in a 4-3 win against Rutgers. That was last weekend, part of a series win for Virginia Tech. They took 2 of 3, including a game in 10 innings where they hit 3 homers in extras. That one runs outside. So all of a sudden this has gotten interesting here in the third for the youngster Ethan Grimm, brought to campus working with a first-year pitching coach in Doug Willey, who had been a minor league pitching coach in the Cubs organization before going to Xavier for the last 3 years. Taking all the way, fires a strike.
Things change a little bit once a base runner gets on, obviously. The first time to throw in the stretch, he was bruising. Retired 8 in a row till the infield hit by Antigua.
Now that one misses upstairs. And after all that, you had the challenge on a hit by pitch, unsuccessful for Tennessee. They do get their runners on first and second anyway for Henry Ford, and what a matchup this will be. Ford flew out to center his first time up, and that does bring out Doug Willey for the first time.
As he makes his way to the mound, the bullpen might start to get busy, at least a few running down there to get stretched out left center.
Making the trot down there. Only 43 pitches so far for Grimm. I mean, it had been a very cool, calm, efficient first time through the order.
That's what this visit is all about. You know, just retired 8 in a row. You made a good pitch on Antigua, put the ball in play and hustled it out, and then lost your concentration. First time in the stretch to Abernathy after the review of the almost hit pitch. And the freshman, just a little break.
No doubt.
Especially something to think about with Henry Ford stepping in.
Doug Willey heads back to the dugout. He had a year spent as a grad assistant bullpen coach at Arkansas under Matt Hobbs and the head coach Dave Van Horn. That's where he finished his playing career. As he did a check swing. There are still pitchers in the outfield right now as that pitch was being delivered, and the bullpen gate was open
on the warning track.
Yeah, good thing that first pitch was not sent out to left, or we could have had some chaos. 0-1 to Ford. Tried to go front door on the slider and just misses.
That's a pitch dangerous right here to Henry Ford. If you try that and leave it on the plate, Henry Ford can do some damage with it.
So Grimm starts some slider. Where does he go here? First high leverage AB of the game. Back to it, and it's outside, 2-1.
I would be surprised if he saw a fastball this at bat.
That's a good point. Ford hitting .318 since coming to Knoxville. Big wave and a miss.
That was the fastball. Missed the spot by a little bit.
Yeah,
you see him
he
falling
did.
off the mound. Ball ran up and in and chased it.
An aggressive hack, and it's 2-2 for a guy who's walked more than he struck out this year. To the left side. That's through a base hit. Ford stays on the slider. And the 2-out rally produces our first run of the game. It all started with Antigua, and Tennessee's on the board.
Slider from Grimm that stayed on the plate. It was down. Location was good on, but credit Henry Ford going down and getting that pitch, driving it up the middle. Eagle off with the swing, scores easily.
And credit to that man, the number 2 for Tennessee. A lot of guys would have been thrown out on that play. A little chopper to the right side, fielded nicely by Sam Grube. Virginia Tech did pretty much everything right on that play, but Antigua just straight beat it. Called strike taken by Blaine Brown. And that's what this Vols lineup can do to you. I mean, you're cruising, and you look up, all of a sudden, run in, 2 on, still danger.
Bottom of the order. Did with Antigua. Turned it over to the top. Got a walk and a 2-out base hit.
Change up, gets a wave and a miss. Blaine Brown, a big time transfer coming in. 2-way player, mostly been a hitter so far. And the 3-hole batting .310. Wave and a miss. Grimm's able to bounce back and get the punch out, but not before a 2-out rally. The infield single by Antigua, walk by Abernathy, and an RBI base hit from Henry Ford to put the Vols on top.
Possible Missions and their dedicated Amity business banker work together to put the us in business banking by sharing the same values both in the office and out in the community. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amity business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer. We're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, by being a true community partner. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger, like the new Big Ranch Wrap, a crispy chicken strip, buttermilk ranch, cheese, and fresh veggies in a warm tortilla. Or go bigger with 5 premium Whata chicken bites. Or go bigger than big with our Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. with fresh 100% beef and melty cheese. Make it even bigger with fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a big deal. The Whata Deal, now at What a Burger. Download the app.
Every shot starts with belief. Something extraordinary can happen. Shriners Children's provides hope, healing, and the chance to dream big. They never allow the ability to pay to compromise the care children receive. Shriners Children's empowers the extraordinary, and you can too. Join me in supporting this life-changing cause and help provide the most amazing care anywhere.
1-0 lead for the Vols going to the 4th. Hey, look who's in the building on a Sunday afternoon. Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He's here. Coach. Combine's over.
Taking in some baseball.
He's taking in some baseball. There's not much downtime when you're an NFL head coach.
Can't get away from the complex.
We are, I mean, you can literally see Jerry World. You walk outside here. We're just down the street from home of the Dallas Cowboys. In his second year as a head coach. You know, he has actually spent time both in the ACC and SEC, Brian Schottenheimer. Virginia Tech fans probably remember the game, 1999. Schotty was the wide receivers coach for Syracuse, who came to Lane Stadium in Blacksburg on College game day, and Michael Vick and the Hokies won 62-0. Now, Schotty was not responsible, obviously. He was the wide receivers coach.
Hokies had it working that day, though.
They did. And he also spent a year at Georgia as their offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach in the SEC. Taking in some baseball today. And man, we've had a great weekend. Nick Licurdo leading off this top of the 4th, takes an 0-2 fastball outside. We haven't really seen a pitcher's duel yet, though. Been a lot of offense.
Lots of offense.
And this has been good. If you're a former pitcher like yourself, Greg. Oh, this ball rocketed into left. This is trouble down the line. It is gone! Nick Licurdo sneaks one out of Hokies immediately tie it up.
That's what you like right there. Coach John Sheff come right back in, put one on the board. A line drive. Exit velocity only 97 miles an hour, but enough 366 feet over the wall and left. Well, by the Hokies answering the Vols. Down and got it, kept it fair. Ribbon.
Just over the walls. Ball fouls it off. 5 homers yesterday for Virginia Tech. That's Nick Licurdo's first this season. Former 2-year backup for Virginia Tech. Now on the 2-hole and brings in Ethan Ball, who gets hit. Wow, so both pitchers having no issues the first time through the order. All of a sudden, Tennessee gets a 2-out rally last inning, and now the Hokies have something in business with the home run from Licurdo, and now Ball gets pegged.
Second Hokie to be hit in this ball game. Elbow pad. Guess if you're going to get hit anywhere, you're going to get hit with some padding. Still taking a look down there.
And flexing out that hand. Ball all good as Trayson Hughes digs in, and we saw for the first time how Ethan Grimm had to adjust with some traffic. Same deal here for Blanco. Did have one runner on in the first and third, but got the caught stealing of Groob in the first, and then stranded Pete Daniel at second last inning. The 0-1 is a slider running away. Trayson Hughes certainly knows what it's like playing in the SEC, former Ole Miss Rebel. And he watches a slider low and outside. Started at Mercer, goes to Ole Miss, struggled in 2024, transferred in, was a big get for John Sheff last year, and then had a hip injury that kept him out all but 13 games. So they are super high on this offense now that they've got Hughes healthy back into the fold.
We've seen what he can do in center down earlier in the game.
Good eye at the plate too. 9 walks already this season, and as you mentioned, yes, covers a lot of ground in center. And on the hands, though, this will stay in the infield for Henry Ford, just in foul territory for the first out.
Command the zone. Fastball, slider, changeup as Evan Blanco can. That was an 85-mile-an-hour fastball that got in on Trayson Hughes and jammed him. That's the secret, is getting the breaking balls over. He didn't do the first two to Hughes, did Blanco, but that one really ran in and got the weak pop fly.
The Woburn, Massachusetts native who started his career at Virginia for Brian O'Connor. It's a foul bunt here from Hudson Lutterman, but decided not to follow his coach to Mississippi State. They sure would have loved to have him go to Starkville. Instead, he comes to Rocky Top, now a member of the Vols. This ball crushed, but foul. Now we get so used to prep, learn about all these teams, these players. Everybody put up monster numbers in high school, right? So it's hard to really have your attention caught by somebody in high school. Evan Blanco is the exception. He allowed 1 earned run his entire senior season of high school and had a .58 career ERA. One run. One. Like, how is that even possible? Changeup runs outside.
And then the other side, you look at it, how'd you give up 1?
Yeah, how? Right. On both ends of it. How 1? I feel for any high school baseball player in the state of Massachusetts between 2019 and 2022. That could not have been a fun experience.
Done.
And went to Virginia, started out as a reliever, and they trusted him right away. He had the second most appearances on the team and then entered into the starting rotation that next year. So Lobs went over to first and helped Virginia go to the College World Series. They had an outstanding 2024 under Brian O'Connor.
The changeup grip as he gets into his stretch position almost looks like he puts it between his ring finger and his middle finger.
He goes to the changeup, gets a 6-4, nearly 3 double play. That one off the glove though of Newstrom. They're unable to end the inning. That ball also wasn't hit all that hard off the end of the bat from Lutterman, so inning stays alive for Owen Petrich.
Hustle down the line. The ball wasn't hit hard, as you said. Taking a backward strong throw to get there. Just got under the glove over there, Newstrom.
I think Lutterman would have been safe anyway. So Blanco will dig in here with 2 outs. Virginia Tech with a solo homer earlier this inning by Nick Licurdo to tie us at 1. That's the fascinating thing about Blanco. He had a start in the College World Series where he went 6 2/3 against North Carolina, allowed just 2 runs. Tremendous pedigree as he fires in the zone for a strike. But he's coming off a year in which he had a 6.23 ERA, had injuries, wasn't the same guy. And pitching, it's such a fickle beast. You know it, being in the big leagues over a decade. Like some years you have it, some you have injuries, you just don't have the same sort of rhythm. And Tennessee really made that bet that they would get 2024 Evan Blanco coming to Knoxville this year.
They're wanting to, right? And if this is your Sunday starter like Grimm for Virginia Tech, you're going to be okay with your starting rotation. Because both have proven they can get the ball over the plate, throw strikes. You're right. I mean, some days you go out there and you think you're going to have everything, and you end up getting knocked out in the first inning. I've warmed up before a game 7 minutes. I've warmed up and I go, it's not going to get any better down here. I'm just going to go out on the mound and see what happens. End up throwing a shutout against Philadelphia.
1-2 is poked foul, and just like you drew it up, right?
I think more so because when you don't have your best stuff, you really concentrate more. Think about it a little more than when, I'm good today. I don't have to think about anything. I'm just going to throw it in there.
Change-up running outside. So I assume that means you've had days where you've had your best stuff in the pen. Then you come out there and you get shelled.
Feels so good. Feels so good. And then gate up, something happens between that 5-minute walk and going back on the mound. You're like, what happened? And that's the thing. It's the concentration thing.
Off the end of the bat, shallow right field. Chapman and Tigwa converge. It's Chapman with the catch. And the side is retired. But Nick Licurdo, after the Hokies hit 5 homers yesterday, able to turn one around, keep it just inside the foul pole and over the wall to tie us at a run apiece.
Bowman Engineering and Consulting and their dedicated Amagi business banker worked together to put the us in business banking, which included the occasional lunch meeting. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amagi business banker with banking experience in your industry, because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing. With comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, planning sessions whenever you need them. Here we collaborate. Here you grow. Naylor Industries and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, focusing on their business needs with lightning speed. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, a banking partner who is just as invested in your growth as you are. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
1-1 game to the bottom of the fourth. Tennessee back at Globe Life Field this weekend for the first time since 2024, season in which, Greg, I'd say it turned out pretty well. They won a College World Series title, first in program history. It resulted in Tony Vitello this past fall being named Giants head coach, first to go straight from the college dugout to the big league head spot. And then Josh Elander brought in, hired on Halloween. Watches as Levi Clark grounds out to the left side. But despite all that, Tennessee brings in the number 2 transfer class from 64 Analytics. They have 3 of the top 5 Division I transfers. They also have the number 1 high school recruiting class in the nation. And Josh Elander has been a great recruiter, 8 years as the associate head coach, recruiting coordinator, has a top 5 class already signed for both next year and 2027.
Been a national powerhouse now for a while. Went to Omaha a few times, but just couldn't get the big one, and finally won the national championship. And obviously helping out in recruiting, you keep a coach that's been there for 8 years as the head coach who knows the recruiting process, to keep players, to bring players in. The big thing these days, I mean, you can get the players on scholarship out of high school. I think the biggest thing now is the portal. I'm not a big fan of it, just because I think
this ball's tagged to right center. Gates ranging over into the gap, and he makes a great catch, robbing Chapman of extra bases.
And just my opinion, just when you do it six times, that's a little too much. Needs to be a little different process there. But that's the big thing now. You see the schools go out and get these transfer kids, and give them a good amount of money and build your program with that. And now more high school kids are going to want to be in this program and be a winner and go to Omaha. And that's the biggest thing. Tennessee's a team that can get to Omaha every year.
Quick inning here, a couple of flyouts. First to Gates in right. This one taken in by Hughes in center as Myatt is down, and Ethan Grimm a bounce back inning as he retires the balls in order. 1-2-3.
Woodcraft and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking, creating a long-lasting relationship with open and quick communication. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll work to help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, the support you need to reach your business goals faster. Here we collaborate. Here you grow. Possible Missions and their dedicated Amegy business banker work together to put the us in business banking by sharing the same values both in the office and out in the community. Now it's your turn with your own dedicated Amegy business banker with banking experience in your industry. Because you're more than a customer, we're more than a bank, and together we'll help put your business on solid financial footing with comprehensive financing options, earned interest on your accounts, and yes, by being a true community partner. Here we collaborate. Here you grow.
All 3 weekends of college baseball here at Globe Life Field benefit Shriners Children's, with a portion of ticket sales going to a worthy cause that is dedicated to improving the lives of children around the world. To donate, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen or visit collegebaseballseries.com. We have Tennessee, our first ever Shriners Children's champions here at Globe Life Field back in 2024. Balls went 2-1 that year, looking to go 2-1 this year as it's a 1-1 game headed to the 5th.
Trying to stay in that win column are the Vols. Virginia Tech trying to salvage one on the weekend. Playing good baseball here this morning. 1-1 game here in the 5th.
That has been an old school pitcher's duel so far. Evan Blanco back on the mound. He's only at 61 pitches as we begin the 5th inning. And 7, 8, 9 for Virginia Tech with Anderson French. That first pitch curved just upstairs. So we raised a record over 200,000 that first weekend for Shriners. And it's been great that raising money. It's continued here. Still had the Shriners volunteers hanging out around the concourse in the building. And this event has gotten to the point where these teams, they obviously would love for it to be able to participate on opening weekend, but they're like, as long as we get in here one of the 3 weekends. I mean, there are so many teams now who want to be part of this.
In the long run, at 200,000, that's the goal. That's what you're looking at. Sure, the baseball is great. Bring the fans in and getting those donations, seeing the children. This game is a kid's game, and everyone loves it. And see the kids here and see what Shriner and Hamilton and these people do for tournaments like this. Not just one, not just two, but 3 consecutive weekends.
Virginia Tech, their first ever appearance here at Globe Life Field. This slider's just off the plate. Good AB from Anderson French leading off the 5th. And the Hokies becoming the 36th program to play at least 1 game here at Globe Life since this building opened in 2020. First college baseball game here in 21. Battle continues. And there were so many injuries last year for Virginia Tech. It's what really hampered them down the home stretch. They lost their last 5 series in ACC play after beating Louisville in a series, sweeping Wake Forest on the road. But French was one of those guys who was a backup. Here he takes a called strike 3, borderline pitch, but Blanco gets the call. French was impressive filling in for a lot of injured guys last year, but here he'll take it about face.
Excellent pitch there by Evan Blanco. The location down in the zone. It is right at the bottom of that square.
Oh, he got it.
Just the tip of the baseball. Perfect pitch.
Pete Daniel, comebacker, right to the mound. You just know we'll see it at some point this year, Greg, in Major League Baseball. You know, a hitter have a similar reaction like that, called third strike, tap the helmet, go ABS, and then watch as the pitch catches a piece. It's going to be hilarious and awesome.
I think I saw one in spring training the other day that was .01 on the baseball.
Wow.
That's about as close as you can get. I've also seen where some umpires have struggled with that system.
Yes. They've been rolling that out at spring training so far. Sam Gates takes the called strike. It's also in their 0-2. Well, college baseball, they have eventually adapted basically all of the new rules that MLB has brought in as well, pitch clock being the big one. The one notable exception is just the limit on throws over to first. But you certainly can draw a line. You know, the growth of popularity in the last 5 years for college baseball, it's skyrocketed. Really started, I think, back 2021, post-COVID, the first year we had games at this building. But with how much more offense is in the college game, it's not a shock that pitch clock has helped that. You do not have as many 4 or 5 hour games anymore. And fan bases have really grown by leaps and bounds even in the last half decade as this slider's just outside.
What was one of the biggest complaints from fans for forever? The time of games. I don't want to go watch a baseball game and take 4.5 hours. I want them to move it along, and that's, to me, that was the best change that's happened is the pitch clock to keep the game rolling.
Yep, Brown able to range back, making the catch just in front of the track. Now both pitchers settling down well after giving up runs earlier in the 3rd and the 4th. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Evan Blanco as we're halfway home from Arlington. Perfect Sunday for baseball here at Globe Life Field, home of the Texas Rangers. It's a 1-1 game between Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Such a cool ballpark amidst many of the great features. This one to me is the coolest, Greg, honoring the history of the Rangers. They're all the numbers that correlate in the outfield wall to great players in the past. 329, Adrian Beltre, 372 out there in left center. You had Nolan Ryan at 334, so that you have 300 feet or 400 feet, and then they added the jersey numbers there at the end there. So Pudge Rodriguez, 407, 410 for Michael Young in left and right center. And there is a Virginia Tech tie to all this. Sliders in there. It's down the right field line, honoring the great Johnny Oates, or number 26, who native of Virginia, from Prince George, and then went to Virginia Tech. Also the 372, 374, 72 first year that the Rangers moved to Arlington, 74 their first winning season. So it's really cool to see that history and how it has been applied here at Globe Life, where the Rangers then eventually did get their World Series title in this building. 3-1 here to Chris Newstrom.
Also one more 42 feet behind home plate, number 42, which all teams are retired. Back for Jackie Robinson.
Foul tip. You can just, you can't really see it right now. Greg Harmon, our home plate umpire, is blocking it, but it is really cool how they set that up. You can just barely see that 42 peeking out. 42 feet from that spot to home plate. They thought of everything here at the Globe Life as the 3-2 is chopped to the left side. A charge by Petrich. Perfectly executed for the first out. And this Virginia Tech defense continue to back up their pitcher, Ethan Grimm.
Really has a good jump down by third by Petrich to come get that ball on the bigger hop, and at once set your feet and throw in the run.
So there's that number 26, retired Johnny Oates of Virginia Tech Hokie. Everybody with a whole lot of famous alumni who have participated in this weekend. Of course, Jackie Robinson in his own category for UCLA. We had a great in-game interview. It was so nice to have Rafael Palmeiro up with us in the booth yesterday for Mississippi State. And remember, the last time Tennessee was here, we were talking about Todd Helton because he had just been inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Fly ball into center for Trayson Hughes off the bat of Manning Marin. So everybody's represented, aren't they?
Now a member of the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
That too. Todd Helton was also elected that same year to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and former Dick Hauser Trophy, National Player of the Year in 1995. A lot of great alums to choose from for Tennessee, but I think that's who a lot of people think of first, the Todd father. Called strike taken by Antigua. Tennessee had not made it even to the NCAA tournament, let alone Supers or Omaha, since 2005, before Tony Vitello came to town, and it really changed everything for this Vols baseball program.
Sports town. They live and die for the Vols. Baseball was put, I guess you can say, put back on the map nationwide. Hello got there, and then once you win the national championship, it's not an easy place to go into and win a baseball game.
0-2 to Antigua. Pop up right side. Who wants it? Ball. Grube over there. Ball with the call and the catch. Ethan Grimm has retired 7 straight balls. A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel on a Sunday morning in Arlington as we go to the 6th. Fans looking on here at Globe Life Field, a 1-1 game between Virginia Tech and Tennessee to the 6th. See all those ranked SEC teams, well more than half the 16-team league. 12 of them in the top 25. Tennessee clocking in at number 20, who are preseason 6th in the SEC. It is a league where you certainly expect 13, 14 teams to get regional bids. I mean, it makes the gauntlet so difficult for any team, even if you're LSU at the top.
A heavyweight fight every week. Every week it's a heavyweight fight. Big boy baseball. That just so many ranked teams, so many good baseball teams, good programs. LSU 2, Texas 3, Mississippi State 4. Play devil's advocate and say if Mississippi State beats UCLA in the next game, what happens to the 2, 3, and 4 right there? They stay undefeated. Texas can win today. They can stay undefeated. LSU would have one loss. Do they just all bump up one? Or Mississippi State beats the number 1 team. Do they deserve to be number 1?
A 1 to Sam Grube as we start this top of the 6th inning for Virginia Tech. You'll have that second game coming up, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 p.m. locally here. Number 1 UCLA, number 4 Mississippi State. As Grube pops one foul. And if UCLA can go through this weekend, pounding Tennessee, obliterating Texas A&M last night, and then beating Mississippi State after what they did last weekend, where they swept TCU. Granted, that was a home series, but I mean, TCU looked incredible when we had them here at Globe Life Weekend 1.
They're a good baseball team.
They're a really good baseball team. To me, an Omaha contenders. Grube swings and misses for the 6th Blanco strikeout. I mean, if UCLA can pull that off, 6 straight incredibly impressive wins, that would certainly, I mean, it wouldn't change the rankings. They're already number 1, but it would, to me, make the solidification of their being the best team in baseball.
I mean, you could even look at it if it's a close game and they lose this afternoon with the way they've played the last 6 games. That resume enough could keep them at the top. I always say rankings are good to boast your chest out at this point in the season. You want that 1 beside your name, obviously, in June and July after the season. But they've definitely played like a number 1 team in the nation.
And change up on Licurdo. You saw how Evan Blanco used that fastball running up and out of the zone. Grube unable to hold off. But it's Licurdo who is responsible for the only Virginia Tech offense. Had a solo homer last time up. And watches a fastball run outside.
Pitch that was in and off the plate. Able to keep his hands inside it and keep it fair down the left field line.
His first homer of the season, and he works the count 3-1. Well, last year we set a record between the 3 weekends. 5 different teams who ended up at Omaha played at Globe Life. Will there be a year where we get all 8? Called strike, that just finds the zone. I mean, you start going through it and you're like, okay, UCLA, obvious contender. Mississippi State, top 5, legit. I mean, even with the struggles of Arkansas, it would not surprise anybody if they figure it out. To me, TCU is in the mix. Oklahoma has to be considered as a legit threat. Tennessee has the talent to be right there. Licurdo bangs one into the gap again. He has been the only guy who's seeing Evan Blanco well, and he is on base with a base hit.
I think the only thing that can stop those teams you're talking about is if they meet up in a super regional.
Exactly. That is part of the equation. 2 hits for Virginia Tech, both from that man, the number 8, Nick Licurdo. First year as a starter after coming off the bench the last 2 seasons, and in an important role in this lineup particularly, Greg. Anybody who is hitting in front of Ethan Ball has to be dependable.
And you're going to see some pitches to hit with the way Ethan Ball's swinging the bat.
Levi Clark coming out to the mound. Blanco at 84 pitches. And then they're making sure his pitch comm is all good.
Give up a line drive to left center and you go out and say, did you get the right pitch? sure that thing's working?
That's like the new version of, the golfer looks down looking at the caddy like, what, you give me the wrong yardage? He's like, oh, it was the pitch com's fault, of course. Ball running in on Ethan Ball, freshman from McLean, Virginia. A huge get for John Sheff and his staff. That one roped foul. Kurt Elbin gets a lot of credit too. He's been with John all 9 seasons in Blacksburg as the recruiting coordinator and has helped be an architect of some great offenses. 3 different times they have been top 15 in the country, Virginia Tech, in slugging percentage. They were 2nd in the nation back in 2022 when they made it to Supers. Change up high to Ball. Swing and a miss. Only 86 on that fastball, but Blanco able to change speeds, directions, and works the count 2-2.
In the curveball, he left it in just enough to where the ball pulled it, yanked it foul down that first base line, and then sneaks 86 by you.
Back to the fastball. It's fouled off. Good lefty-lefty battle here. You have the vet Blanco, who's pitched in Omaha at the College World Series. Hitter in Ethan Ball, who certainly has the pedigree to be hitting at TD Ameritrade Park. Good take, 3-2. And for a Virginia Tech team whose goal is to make the tournament this year, they were 11th in the ACC preseason poll. The opening day projections were that 10 ACC teams would make it, so they're right on the bubble. These are the sort of games that will make or break their resume, at least from a non-conference perspective, come Selection Monday.
Like at the Major League level, they say games in April don't matter. Well, every game matters, even in now March here at the college level.
Runner goes, it hits him again. 2nd straight time Ball has gotten plunked. First he got hit on the hand. That one, a 3-2 fastball gets him on the back, and the Hokies are in business. 2 out, 1 on.
I see. Pitching him in just a little too far in. With the 3 at bats on the hand, that one got him right on the tricep.
91 pitches for Blanco. That's a season high, and it will be the end of his day. 5 1/3 for Blanco. Only allowed the 2 hits, both to Licurdo. And Josh Elander takes the ball from him. Tennessee to the bullpen for the first time. And Mark Hindy, a Duke grad transfer. He's pitched against Virginia Tech, got a lot of experience. He's set to come in for the first time when we return. 1-1 game, top of the 6th. It's getting good here on a Sunday at Globe Life Field. Welcome back to Arlington. Evan Blanco's day is done. Greg, he was dealing all morning. 6 strikeouts and 5 1/3. Only the 2 hits given up, both to Nick Licurdo.
Yeah, see the pitches he's throwing, painting the fastball, getting the changeup over. Breaking balls are good, and when he gets ahead of you, change the eye level, getting the hitter to chase out of the zone. Evan Blanco pitching real well for 5 1/3. As you said, just the 2 hits, but he will give way here to the big left-hander Mark Hindy, making his 4th appearance of the season.
From one lefty to another, but a much different look from Hindy, who fires a strike into Trayson Hughes. Final line on Blanco, still responsible for Licurdo at second, Ethan Ball at first. Hindy fires up and in. He's been tremendous since coming over from Duke. Originally at William and Mary, went to Duke for a season, and they view Hindy as a very big piece to a bullpen and a lefty that you will see a lot of this year.
So far, hasn't given up a hit.
Oh, up and in. Little chin music there on Hughes as it's 2-1. 2 1/3 innings pitched, just a single walk in the 3 appearances for Mark Hindy. Hindy last year at Duke had a cutter and a slider that both had whiff rates of over 35%. He's got a lot of swing and miss in his game, and they bring him in for a fresh lefty-lefty matchup on Hughes. And we're having more pitch comm issues there down in the Tennessee dugout. It started to happen earlier this inning with Blanco. So they'll sort that out for Levi Clark. Seminal moment in this game, though, for Virginia Tech, and they had big opportunities early in the 5th and 6th innings yesterday against Mississippi State. Stranded multiple runners multiple times. Eventually, the Bulldog offense woke up, and kind of feel if you're John Sheff right now, you got to produce here before the Vol bats eventually get going.
Yeah, like as you said, opportunities have been there. They just haven't able to get that big hit. Now, got yourself in a hitter's count here, 3-1. A good opportunity for the Hokies.
Hughes watches a fastball right down the middle. It's not overpowering stuff from Hindy, but it's the deception that you see with so many lefties. Fastball generally doesn't hit more than about 90, 91. The 3-2 swing and a miss. It's that wipeout slider, and Hindy goes to the well.
From a pitcher standpoint, you could almost see that he might have been waiting for the slider. 3-1, took the fastball right down the middle. So what's Hindy do? Comes back with that slider. Now you have to protect or swing if it's close. It's the swing and miss, a big out. Tennessee.
Great pitch by Hindy, who did pitch twice against Virginia Tech last year and was awesome. 3 1/3 innings, no hits, 6 strikeouts against the Hokies. Pitched back-to-back days in a series for Duke last year. Just misses to Hudson Lutterman. 0 for 2 today. High pop-up, ranging into foul ground. Looks to be plenty of room for Newstrom, and he makes the catch. What a job by Mark Hindy. Comes in and puts out the fire. Closes the line on Blanco. Just a single run allowed in 5 1/3 as it stays a 1-1 game to the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 game between Virginia Tech and Tennessee. It's the 20th all-time meeting on the baseball diamond. This was one of the great college football settings we've had. This was 10 years ago. Hard to believe it's been a decade, Greg. But the battle at Bristol, Virginia Tech, Tennessee, set an attendance record in college football. It was a special night, over 156,000. Josh Dobbs leading the Vols to victory that night.
That's an awesome venue right there. That's a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can imagine for the NASCAR race how rowdy they get. Now you throw a football game in there. That's a pretty rowdy evening in Bristol.
I think the powers that be in baseball saw that game and said, we want to get in on that. And it was unfortunate that we had such bad weather for it.
Right.
But it was such a cool event to watch when the Reds and Braves played in Bristol. And now Tennessee and Virginia Tech, just the 20th all-time meeting between a couple of proud programs. Vols have played baseball since 1897 as Jay Abernathy takes a couple pitches outside. Virginia Tech's first year, 1895. But for the most part, their meetings have always been on neutral sites. They had the old Hokey Smokey Classic that alternated neutral site venues. As Abernathy fouls it off. Last time they played was in Greenville, Tennessee. But Hokies and Vols have not played a game on one of the two respective campuses since 1990. Good pitch from Ethan Grimm. He's back out there. Just 66 pitches through 5 innings as he begins his 6th inning of work.
Lefty with his ball in the hand out in the Tech bullpen.
And that's third time through the order here for Tennessee. You wonder what the leash is like for Grimm, who they haven't had go particularly deep, has not thrown more than 75 pitches in a start yet. This is his 3rd of the season.
Scorecard here. He just had 3 base runners, and those all came in the 3rd inning.
And fastball misses up and into Abernathy, able to hold off. Second time Abernathy's drawn a free pass, and Henry Ford, who provided the 1 RBI for Tennessee, a base hit back in the 3rd inning, is coming up. That might be all for the freshman Ethan Grimm, who's handled himself beautifully today. Certainly making his case. He'd love to stay in there.
Ready at the gate and the bullpen. They are going to make the move.
They waited till the last possible second, but they are going to the bullpen. And Chase Swift, the lefty, enters the fray for Virginia Tech. Both teams into the bullpen. Tight game, 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 game, bottom of the 6th. New pitcher for Virginia Tech as they go to the pen for the first time. And Chase Swift, his stuff has been electric this year as he's set for his 4th appearance. Has already struck out 14 in 6 2/3 innings. This is the best batter he's faced all season, though, Greg. Henry Ford with a runner on. Leadoff walk to Jay Abernathy chasing Ethan Grimm after a tremendous outing.
His outings this year, Swift 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 2/3, 6 strikeouts. So gets the punch outs, needs one right here, but maybe preferably like a ground ball, get a double play from Henry Ford. Tough out here.
Slow roller handled off the glove. Only play is to first. That's a nice job by Swift, who didn't panic, able to relocate it as Abernathy moves to second. So here's how Ethan Grimm's day unfolded. The freshman Sunday starter for the Hokies, and he was excellent. Struck out 4 of the first 6 batters he faced.
Very good. You saw the fastball, really good movement on it. Moved the slider around, threw it inside the righties, got under the lefty bats. Hard to pick up. Check swing strikeouts, but the freshman did not look like a freshman this morning. Going to 5 innings, just 1 earned run and 2 hits before walking Abernathy here in the 6th inning.
He retired the first 8 balls he faced. And the only run he gave up came on a 2-out rally that started with a little infield nubber of a single. Here, Blaine Brown over the top of a changeup. So he's responsible for Abernathy at second. Chase Swift, a very important piece of this pen, who started 8 times last year, but anytime you have a lefty who can come in and give you multiple innings out of the pen, you will take it. And he's got good stuff. Only 87 with the fastball, but Brown behind, and it's 0-2.
Those were the 87. Jumps out of his hand, gets on you in a hurry. These days they call it spin rate. Powerful lower body.
Out in front on a changeup. They could certainly use him to go multiple innings as well, Chase Swift, after 7 pitchers were used yesterday in the loss to Mississippi State. Back up the middle, but right into the shift. It's off the bag. What a break for Tennessee, and they take the lead. Well, better be lucky than good sometimes, and Blaine Brown will take it. Falls up 2-1.
That ball right up the middle. Pete Daniel, you could see probably in his eyes that, oh no, this ball's about to hit the base. This ball's going to hit second base and bounce into the outfield, just right up the middle. Caroms off into the outfield. Abernathy's going to score easily. And good hustle right there from Brown. Look, he's on it. He's going to throw him out. Maybe try to go to third with that ball, but it's off the base. Abernathy comes around to score. Double RBI there for Blaine Brown.
Ends the line of Grimm, 2 earned in 5+ innings. That's a tough break if you're the Hokies. A good hustle as well, as you mentioned, from Brown to get to second. And it's Levi Clark hitting cleanup. Big wave and a miss. That's a good-looking changeup from Swift.
That's his bread and butter right there. Fastball's 86, 87 tops. Changeup 11 miles an hour off of that, but it's all about deception. His arm speed is the same with the fastball and the changeup.
Upstairs, 2-1 to Clark. Preseason 2nd team All-SEC. He'll have his bat in the lineup every day, even if he's not catching. Was at first base yesterday behind the dish. 0 for 2 so far in this one. A rocket, fair ball down the line. More extra bases for Tennessee. They've scored 2 in the inning and lead it 3-1.
Extra base hits will get you. That's back-to-back doubles. RBIs for Tennessee. Pitch right there, stayed right on the plate. Job of hitting that baseball by Levi Clark. Caroms off the wall easily. Gets into second base. Brown coming around to score the second run of the inning. Balls with a 2-run lead. Now here in the 6th.
Now, Grimm was so good in the starter's role. You just wondered eventually for Tennessee, third time through the order, would they finally get unlocked a little bit at the plate? They appear to have done so as Chapman takes a changeup down low. Watches that slider low and away. And some noise coming too from that Tennessee dugout with Chapman up there. Second-year starter, hit 13 homers last year as a regular. Began on the bench 2 years, didn't get a whole lot of at-bats, stayed in the program. And now here he is, heart of the order. Big wave and a miss on the changeup.
Changeup with a little depth to it. But he was right on top of that one. Swung over the top of it.
Just misses running inside. It's a challenge that Swift hasn't had to deal with a ton yet this year. It's when you're a lefty who relies more on off speed and you see one of those offerings get pummeled the other way. You still have the confidence to go back to it and really trust your stuff. Here he's down 3-1 and goes back to the change, swing and a miss.
That pitch, throw it every pitch. It looks exactly like his fastball coming out of his hand. Seems like the fastball, he's trying to overcompensate and throw it a little harder than just relaxing and throwing the fastball.
2 runs already in this 6th inning. Swing and a miss. I don't know if his pitch com's connected to your headset, Greg, but he listened to you. Change up, right back to it. Good looking pitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's his pitch. Talk about challenging. Well, he challenges with his changeup because it's his #1 pitch, back to back right there. Get a strikeout. That one with a little movement inside. Stayed on the plate as well.
A desperately needed second out of the inning with Tyler Myatt due up for Tennessee. First pitch slider a little high.
Trying to trick him right there. Lefty just struck out on the changeup. We got another lefty coming up thinking he's going to be looking changeup. We're going to try a slider, but off the plate.
Fastball taken low. We'll see Swift in a lot of high leverage spots this year for Virginia Tech. It's a rotation and a bullpen in general. It took its lumps last year with a lot of injuries. ERA north of 5. They also lost 2 of their 3 weekend arms as well. Good pitch from Swift to find the zone on a changeup, but they view Chase Swift to be that kind of catalyst that can oftentimes bridge the gap from starters to 9th inning.
Earlier, he's a guy that can not just come in for a lefty. You have to change up with it. Gets righties out too, so he can give you multiple innings.
Popped foul. I guess the challenge will just be the usage in a 3-game weekend series when we're in conference play. Are you able to use him twice? And do you go maybe try to go 6 outs Friday, something similar on Sunday, or do you burn him on one day? It presents an interesting challenge here for John Sheff and Virginia Tech. But the good news is there's a lot of different ways they can use Chase Swift. strike 3. That changeup is something else. It's Chapman and Myatt down on strikes, but not before the Vols take the lead. Back-to-back doubles, and they lead it 3-1. We head to the 7th inning. It's the final day of this 2026 M&G Bank College Baseball Series. The trophy is here. Our championship game coming up. UCLA and Mississippi State. Winner will take that trophy for Weekend 3 after Oklahoma mashed their way to a win in the Shriners Showdown Weekend 1. Auburn was outstanding last weekend, and it's the Bruins and Bulldogs for the title coming up next. Tennessee, a team who has won a title here in this park. They won the 2024 Shriners Children's Showdown. And go to the bullpen right now. Braden Krenzel, our new pitcher, to come in a 3-1 game. Vols just struck for 2 in the bottom of the 6th.
Right-handed Krenzel making his 4th appearance of the season. Just 3 innings on the season so far. A couple of hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Got a 2-run lead now of the game. This one, 2 runs for the Vols.
They used him a good amount last year as a freshman, 21 appearances, a couple of spot starts. And Braden Krenzel, one of the few returners from last year's bullpen, immediately gives up a shot to the right side, and Petrich starts the inning for Virginia Tech. Leadoff single, his first hit, and the first non-Nick Licurdo base hit from Virginia Tech today.
Ball ran in on him. He was able to get enough barrel on it and hit it fairly good out there in the right field. Importantly, a leadoff base runner, base hit here for Virginia Tech.
And Anderson French, who went yard yesterday, one of 5 home runs that Virginia Tech hit, all of them late in a 15-8 loss to Mississippi State, will come up. And Levi Clark quickly out to the mound.
UCLA and Mississippi State, 1 versus 4. Bruins would like to take that trophy to the West Coast and not have it be a SEC sweep
right
in Arlington over the last 3 weeks.
Running down and in. That's traditionally how it's been. These SEC teams come in here and generally dominate. Yeah, I can't wait for that one coming up. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 locally, Central Time here in Arlington. 1-0 count right now to Anderson French. Can the Hokies get a rally going against Braden Krenzel? Wave and a miss. Good looking changeup. That was his out pitch last year, a whiff rate 50%. He also has a slider that had a really high whiff rate as well of 50+%.
One thing that's changed over the years at the college level is falling behind in counts and able to get the breaking ball over the plate for a strike. That's next level stuff.
There's that slider. So we've seen 2 really good pitches from Krenzel. He'll feature a lot of back-to-back. And his fastball has hit 96 in the past. Backdoor, got him. On the slider, freezes French.
And French has gone down with the strikeout in this game. This is a beautiful pitch from Krenzel. Backdoor. Depth to it, but perfect location. I mean, look at the box. I mean, it's right on the corner. Out there for the Vols.
Pete Daniel now watches that slider come in there for a strike. Well, the fact that they got Krenzel to Knoxville was a pretty good coup in the first place for Josh Elander. That's because Ohio State really wanted Braden. Ball in the dirt here, blocked by Levi Clark. It wasn't just your ordinary recruiting battle. Braden's dad, Craig Krenzel, was an outstanding quarterback for Jim Tressel and Ohio State back in the day. Played in the NFL with the Bears.
That name ring a bell.
It did ring a bell.
Deep in my skull somewhere.
You probably watched some
Pretty
random game with,
yeah.
You know, with Keith Jackson on the call and Ohio State at the peak of their powers back in the early 2000s. Takes it outside. So, son of Craig. And viewed as an important piece for Tennessee when you consider how few arms they return. They had 9 draft picks last year, including a program record 4 in the first round from Tennessee, including last year's SEC Pitcher of the Year, Liam Doyle, who went 5th overall to St. Louis.
That kid is.
Seriously. Marcus Phillips was also a first-round pick, went in the compensatory selections to Boston, 33rd overall. Krenzel just outside, and it's 3-1. So a lot of innings needing to be replaced for Tennessee. They certainly have a lot of good arms to do so. But that bullpen and the roles in particular still somewhat unsettled.
Well, the starting rotation, especially in the SEC, you get that bell cow on Friday nights that can give you 6, 7, 8 innings. Keeps that bullpen fresh for the weekend, because a lot of times on Sundays it gets a little long. You don't have a really good bullpen. A lot of these SEC teams have good bullpens.
It was a good start today from Evan Blanco, but now Braden Krenzel, second reliever from Josh Elander to be used. In a bit of trouble here. Single by Petrich, now the 1-out walk. First and second for Sam Gates coming up, and that gets a trip out to the mound. There's a look at Brady Frederick, we've already seen this weekend.
A couple of innings yesterday in the ballgame.
We've got Josh Reynolds, new pitching coach out there. Tennessee had to fill that spot with the longtime pitching coach Frank Anderson, viewed as one of the best in the business. He followed Tony Vitello to San Francisco. Bullpen stirring. It's Gates in the 9-hole, who did homer yesterday. Came off the bench. Cracks one to the right side. Could be 2, 4, 6, 3. They got him. Antigua sets up Marin, the turn on to Newstrom, and the Vols get out of another jam. Stretch time in Arlington. Tennessee maintains its 2-run edge. the brilliant umpire cam with us all 3 weekends at Globe Life Field. An outstanding job by our whole Flo College social team and just the entire production team with us. 30 games here over 3 weeks. We've produced 27 of them. It's a lot of baseball, Greg, and this was part of the first weekend with Arkansas, Oklahoma State. Big homer on opening nights of the season, and here we go. Final day, game number 28 of 30 at Globe Life this year.
A lot of baseball games, and they make our job easy. By
they do.
Putting pictures, putting graphics, keeping us in check. And great crew here the last 3 weeks. I've been here this weekend, and greatly my first time working with Flo College and the baseball. Really enjoyed myself, seeing some good baseball and working with some good people.
Yeah, you got to work with Brand Freeman. This guy's great.
Got to work with Ben Wilson.
Oh, okay. Well, he threw me in there. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bottom of the 7th right now. Chris Newstrom up. It's a new pitcher here for Virginia Tech. They go to Logan Eisenrich. I can't echo those sentiments enough, though, rest of our crew. I mean, these are long days. You're talking about in the ballpark at 8:30 a.m. here till 11 midnight, and running it back 3 days in a row, 3 weekends in a row. Check swing, and they rule him an offer. Yep, they did. Didn't even have to appeal. 0-2.
Harmon back there going, I don't have to. I called the swing myself.
It's a big arm out there. Logan Eisenrich has hit 99 in the fall. Now goes slider on 0-2. Fouled off. 95 on that fastball. Transition starter Eisenrich. The big thing with him is the command. 28 walks to 32 strikeouts last year. They felt like the command really went to another level in the fall. It's been a bit hit or miss so far. 4 earned runs allowed in 5 1/3 across 3 relief innings, but I mean the stuff is clearly there.
Oh, that one.
Oof, not off by that much.
Wow.
And he goes slider, curve, changeup. There's a big delta too between the throw a breaking ball right like he just did at right around 80 and a fastball sitting 95, 96.
Takes a little while to bottle everything up. Young pitchers right there, just right at the end, just tried to throw it a little too hard, yanked it low and away at 96. And if you just slow that delivery down a little bit, speed it up as you go home, you can command the zone a little better, especially with that good a fastball.
The 3-2 to Newstrom. Called strike 3, locked him up. There he goes, slider, and the first out of the 7th.
That arm movement with the slider, that one just cut the corner.
One of those too close to take for Newstrom, and the goal here from Eisenrich, just keep this a 2-run game, give your offense a chance. With 6 outs to go on the other side, Virginia Tech trying to avoid the sweep, but compared to what we've watched the first 2 days, Greg, as this one's a swing and a miss by Marin. By far the best the Hokies have looked. Been really clean in the field, good pitching. They've put together a lot of quality at-bats, even if the runs haven't come.
That's the thing. I mean, the first 2 games, they took knockout punches. They fell to the ground, and today they're holding their own. Haven't been able to get much offensively, but all in all, haven't made an error, taking good at-bats. We've seen some good pitching. A lot you could take into that, especially after the first 2 this weekend.
That one sliding low and away to Manny Marin. Chop to the right side. Oh, it eats up the first baseman. They try to barehand it. Came off of Grube's glove. Ball unable to control. And Marin reaches. That was hit hard off the bat going the other way.
Similar to Antigua, who had 2 strikes earlier in the game and just made contact and hit a good one down there to first. This one hit a little firmer than that one. The hop just couldn't come up with it, couldn't find it. Error, that's a tough error. That ball was hit hard.
That is an E3 11th error this season in game number 11 for Virginia Tech. And with 1 out, you would not be surprised if Antigua tried to get a bunt down here. Pulls it back. Fastball just outside.
Ball over there. Tech thinking the same thing. Peter's at third, playing up in front of the base.
The Hokie third baseman creeping in. You have Eisenrich out there on the mound. Swinging away. It's sent out to center field, but playable for Hughes for the second out. This feels like an important stretch too for Eisenrich, who they are really counting on. It's a bullpen, starting rotation in general too, that has kind of been re-put together this year. There's a lot of newcomers for Virginia Tech. Also a lot of guys with experience though. They have 20 newcomers. Coach John Sheff said it's the oldest team experience-wise he's had, and a pitcher like Eisenrich fits into that category, who's thrown a lot of innings, maybe hasn't had the success yet, but they feel like if they can put it all together, it's a team that has a very high ceiling.
Stuff is there. Now can you know how to use it? Definitely what you want heading into conference play next week is to have a clean outing here, get your confidence built. It's there for Eisenrich.
1-0 to Jay Abernathy, top of the order. It's a tough out here. Guy who's such a good eye at the plate has walked twice and scored the go-ahead run in the last inning. It was a ground ball up the middle from Blaine Brown that hit the second base bag. That got Tennessee the 2-1 lead. They added a third on a Levi Clark booming double down the line, but offense been hard to come by for both Tennessee and Virginia Tech today. Just 7 combined hits. They fake the steal over at first, and the fastball tails outside. 3-0 to Abernathy. With the projected first-round draft pick Henry Ford waiting on deck. That one catches the edge. Eisenrich, a guy who was actually born in Los Angeles but grew up in Virginia, now playing for his home state team, Virginia Tech Hokies. Big crack of the glove from French. Reach back for 94 with the heater, and it's 3-2 here with 2 outs in the 7th.
With that Grube will move behind the runner in the first. 3-2 with the lefty up.
Beautiful pitch. Slider freezes. Abernathy comes right back over the plate. And Eisenrich works around the 1-out error to pitch a clean 7th inning. 3-1 balls. We head to the 8th from Globe Life Field. 3-1 Tennessee to the top of the 8th, kicking off our final day of the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series. Both starters were excellent today. Ethan Grimm for Virginia Tech, Evan Blanco of Tennessee. They both allowed just 2 hits. Nick Licurdo, a solo home run to tie it in the 4th after Henry Ford gave Tennessee the 1-0 lead. The big inning, though, was the bottom of the 6th. Blaine Brown's grounder up the middle hit the second base bag, went for a double. Levi Clark drove in another right after that. And now it's a battle of the bullpens. Braden Krenzel back out for his second inning of relief against the top of the Hokie order, as he fires a strike in there to Sam Grube.
One of the better starting games we've seen from the starting pitchers. Both going at least 5, not giving up many hits. Only 4 runs in this game. Been a lot of runs scored in this tournament.
Fouled off by Grube, 1-2. You can appreciate that as someone who is a big league pitcher. You played, and you played with some pretty good hurlers in your day as well.
I saw a lot of zeros put up for years with a big left-hander named Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
2-2 here to Grube. I understand you once got a tee time because you called the course and said, we got Randy and Kurt coming up to play.
That was the good thing when you were a relief pitcher and a left-handed relief pitcher and Randy was throwing. You knew you weren't going to pitch, come in after him. So you use things to your advantage.
That's very smart. Swing and a miss here by Grube. First out of the 8th inning. Well, you brought him a signed baseball. You were a thoughtful person.
He showed up just on a baseball.
Yeah, just on the baseball. That is what we call being resourceful.
And they weren't any Muni courses either.
Whistling Straits.
Whistling Straits, Black Wolf Run.
Great courses.
Oakmont.
Man.
Some good ones.
Feel free to let me know next time you
I got you.
You use the old autographed baseball trick from Randy. I'll be there.
Mine autographed baseball might get you on a Muni.
Okay, I'll try that. Yeah. 0-2 here to Nick Licurdo. Licurdo has been the main source of offense today from Virginia Tech. Hit his first home run of the year, solo shot in the 4th. Launches a fastball high on 0-2. The only Hokie to get a hit off Evan Blanco. Just misses on 1-2. Slider worked wonders for Krenzel. Krenzel got him out of a jam in the last inning. Hokies had 2 on with 1 out when Gates grounded into a double play. Just high on a fastball. We hit with ball coming up, heart of the order for Virginia Tech. This almost feels like a must-reach situation for Licurdo to try to get some traffic in front of your dynamic freshman. Foul tip held onto by Clark. It's back to that nasty slider.
That's a good pitch from Krenzel. Obviously got the ground ball to end that 7th inning. Gets a strikeout there. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 8th inning under the bat of Licurdo.
Done a great job of settling down. Gave up a hit and a walk. 2 of the first 3 he faced, but Krenzel rolling at the moment. Swing and a miss now from Ethan Ball.
You get yourself in trouble and then get a visit from the pitching coach. Get the double play. That'll give you a lift.
Change up down low. Well, Ball has experience taking really good pitchers yard. Did that against Tomas Valinkis yesterday. Patient approach at the plate. It's 2-1. 3 homers already in the early season for Ethan Ball, hitting a cool .400 to lead the way for the Hokies. High fly ball to left center. Yard will hold this one. He just missed it out there as Blaine Brown brings it in. Braden Krenzel, a 1-2-3, top of the 8th. The Vols lead by 2 with 3 outs to go. Oh, we're at that point of the weekend where we're doing the Die Hard. No, I did.
What we got?
Is they want to know do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not? I said no.
I've never watched it.
(3-1) Tennessee in the battle of 7-3 clubs. Final day of this Amegy Bank College Baseball Series. Henry Ford in the heart of the Vols order against Logan Eisenrich out there for his second inning of relief. Good looking slider on the inner half.
Yeah, you would think the way Tennessee's throwing the baseball today that 2 could be enough, but you would like to tack on a couple more here.
Ford with a missile, but it's right at Hughes out in center field. He does not get cheated up there, Henry Ford.
That ball hit on a line. All Hughes had to do was take 1 step to his right and half a step in. Didn't have to go far.
Eisenrich is the third pitcher used by Virginia Tech. Even though they're down in the game 3-1, it has been a really impressive showing from the Hokie staff today.
You talk about losing the first 2, not the way you wanted it to go, and you're losing this one just by 2, but you've played a good baseball game. It's something you can take away with you. Yeah, you want to win. Wins are always good, but you want to play clean, good, clean baseball.
Outside to Blaine Brown. A Virginia Tech program that had not tasted a lot of success. John Sheff led them to Supers in 2022. It had been their first trip to the NCAA tournament in nearly a decade when he got them there. And a chop foul. And gotten off to good starts, the Hokies each of the last couple years have been unable to sustain that success the whole way. And they feel like, well, they've been on the wrong side and are 3 outs away from going 0-3 on the weekend. This will prepare them well for an ACC conference that has only gotten deeper over the last couple years.
Yeah, it won't get any easier for the Hokies.
So Blaine Brown, he fouled that ball off and wants to take an extra couple seconds here to recollect. Fouling it off his leg, and a guy who's responsible for the go-ahead run today. It was a grounder up the middle that would have likely been a ground out, but instead it hit the second base bag, caromed into right center. Brown got a hustle double out of it, drove in Jay Abernathy, and that put Tennessee up 2-1. That one just missed outside, running low and away. And 2-2 on the foul straight back. So still to come, we have our championship game today. UCLA, Mississippi State, 1 versus 4. Both teams 2-0. So the winner will be your Weekend 3 Amegy Bank College Baseball Series champion. Texas A&M and Arizona State to round it out tonight. front. Look out down there off the front railing of the dugout.
Little tournament weekend where you get to hoist a trophy at the end. That'll be an exciting ball game. Not only who wins gets the trophy, but number 1 in the nation, number 4 in the nation.
Good to see everybody's good over there. Yeah, it's something we don't always get. And Tennessee won this tournament. The Shriners in 24, they were 2-1. They do have tiebreakers in place to crown a champion. But it's nice when you get the 2-0 teams squaring off on the Sunday. Inside. Count runs full. We had that weekend one. Oklahoma TCU was a true championship game Sunday night. This brings a little more juice to the park. Over 13,000 fans here yesterday. The 3-2 just outside. Good take by Blaine Brown. He's on base again.
That one just missed. Tried the back door with the breaking ball.
Here's how everybody's shaked out so far this weekend. Vols 3 outs away from a 2-1 week here. Arizona State will look to avoid the sweep later today against Texas A&M. Now, Hokies had a rally late yesterday. See if they can do the same thing. Their rally came up short against Mississippi State. That was really just a rally to avoid a run rule. Here they're trying to actually tie the game, force Tennessee to bat again in the 9th.
The game yesterday was 5-2 going into the 7th. Ended up 15-8.
Wave and a miss to Levi Clark, 1-1.
A lot of movement on that slider.
Well, you being the professional that you are, you got here in the 7th inning, as a responsible broadcaster does when you're calling the next game of a tournament. And like an hour later, it was still the 7th inning.
Yeah. I mean, I got here ready to go to work. I think I got over 14,000 steps in.
You did.
Just circled the
I was
jealous.
jealous. Me and Ty Harrington were watching. Yeah, you're just going around. We were like, yeah, that'd be great.
I went out to left field, sat in some seats. Went out to right field, sat in some seats. And just took the whole park in.
Almost hit Clark. It's good life on the fastball, too, from Eisenrich. And for Eisenrich, who's been a bit up and down with his command historically in his time at Virginia Tech, an important outing here. He was really good in that 7th, trying to keep it a 2-run game to the 9th. That one running outside, 3-1. That's the slider from Eisenrich. He'll go slider, curve, changeup, along with a mid-90s fastball.
The mid-90s fastball is great. That slider is his out pitch. It's a wipeout slider. You got to put yourself in counts where you can use it.
Clark, a dangerous hitter to be facing behind 3-1. He hit that rocket double down the line last time up. Booms one, but right to short. Daniel, the ball, the turn not in time. But they are able to get the ground ball and force a second out of the inning.
A little slight bobble out there by Daniel. Not able to get the grip on the ball. Got the lead out, which is important. But Clark getting down the line, unable to double him up in the innings. Extends the inning here.
So Reese Chapman 0 for 3, couple Ks, gets another crack at it, with Clark taking over at first base. A number that is fair, played by Petrich. Nice play. Not an easy one from the third baseman of Virginia Tech. Works around the 1-out walk to Blaine Brown. And we go to the 9th. Last chance for Virginia Tech. Vols on top by 2. 3-1 Tennessee lead to the 9th inning with our championship game on deck. That list of undefeated teams, it continues to get shorter. We're down to 4 now. Texas A&M went down last night to UCLA. Mississippi State 11-0 under first-year head coach Brian O'Connor, and they're up next. UCLA, Mississippi State. 3:30 Eastern right here on Flow College. Cannot wait to watch that one. Right now, though, Braden Krenzel looking for a first career save, trying to go 9 outs, and he has to do it against 4, 5, and 6 in the Virginia Tech order.
Throwing the ball well in his first 2 innings, just a hit and a walk, 3 strikeouts. Big double play to end the 7th inning in the threat by Virginia Tech. Hardest outs in baseball,
No
26, 25, 26, and 27.
Immediately ahead, 0-2 on Trayson Hughes. The changeup just outside. Well, Krenzel did start a couple games last year, and he was the winning pitcher in outings at Alabama and at South Carolina in SEC play. Went 5 innings at South Carolina, so he can be stretched out. Slider down and in, 2-2. Boomed back up the middle, but it hangs up there for Jay Abernathy. Came racing in and is able to snag it for the first out.
And you can see how hard that ball was hit. It was still rising. Thought Abernathy might have overcompensated there coming in, but stayed on the ball. That ball hit extremely hard, but right in the gloves. The first out here in the 9th.
Abernathy singing, I had that the whole way. No, it ended up about hat high. First pitch strike, back to the fastball on Hudson Lauderman. That was an important first out to get if you're Braden Krenzel, because Lauderman has great power. Homered yesterday. Works the count 1-1. Tapper foul. This has to be a unique day for Lauderman. He's playing against his hometown team, a guy from Knoxville, born in Columbus, Ohio, but grew up in Knoxville, home of Rocky Top, played at Knoxville Catholic High School, and now a member of Virginia Tech. Had some big series last year. Strike 3 called. Front door on the slider, and Krenzel's an out away.
Frozen with that slider right at the hip. Comes back over the inner half of the plate. Letterman not happy with it. Take a look where it ended up. He might have a beef. Ball was in, but call went the Vols' way.
Owen Petrich, the last chance for Virginia Tech. On a day where the Vols have only allowed 3 hits, have poured in 11 strikeouts with just 2 walks. And the traveling Vol fans from Knoxville making some noise with 2 outs in the 9th. Can Petrich keep the line moving? First pitch, strike. 95 with the heater. Oh, and 2. Does Krenzel look strong or what?
That's the best fastball he's thrown since coming in the game. That was the first strike here. Petrich got him right where he wants him now. You can go slider, you can go fastball up.
Went fastball up, didn't miss by much on 0-2. Good pitch in that particular count.
96 on that one. Look for the slider right here.
Chopper, left side, Marin has it, and Tennessee gets the 3-1 win. They close out the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series with a 2-1 weekend, knocking off the Hokies.
Well, after losing their first, come back with a 5-3 win and a 3-1 win. A successful weekend for the Volunteers. Hokies finished the tournament 0-3, but played good baseball today, had opportunities. Just an unfortunate ground ball up the middle hitting second base, ended up scoring 2 runs in that inning, did the Vols. So.
And that was a difference. 2 runs, 6 for Tennessee. That go-ahead double off the bag propelled them to the win. Evan Blanco, our MVP of this game, trying to make a statement as a Sunday starter, having a bounce-back year for the Vols, and was excellent from his opening pitch today.
Yeah, very good. Hit the first batter of the game. Sam Grew, but got out of the inning with a throw out. But his stuff today was good. The changeup was excellent. Location with the fastball, mixed in an occasional breaking ball. Kept the Hokies off balance. Did Evan Blanco. Ends up getting the win for the Volunteers, who had a successful weekend here, now going 2-1 in Arlington.
5 1/3 for Blanco, 6 Ks, just the single run allowed on 2 hits. He's our MVP of the game, and he's standing by right now with our Harper Zimmerman down on the field.
Congratulations, Evan. You had 5 really strong innings, 6 strikeouts, and only 1 run allowed. What was working for you on the mound today?
Yeah, I just wanted to give my team a chance to win, pound the zone, and I knew that sometime during the game our bats were going to come around and score.
This was an extremely competitive game. How does the team stay locked in to finish the job?
Yeah, it's crucial for the dugout to stay engaged, be loud. So I think once we get that from our dugout, then anything's possible on the field for sure.
With this game, you guys are leaving Arlington 2-1. What does it mean to be at Globe Life Field and leave with these wins?
Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity, especially against great teams like this. So we're grateful for the opportunity to be here, but also to come out on top 2-1.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Harper. Tennessee 3, Virginia Tech 1 in our first of a triple header today. Big thank you to our producers all weekend, Browning, Stubbs, Phil Popwood, the rest of the outstanding Flow College team. As for Harper Zimmerman, for Greg Swindell, I'm Ben Wilson saying so long for now from Globe Life Field. Coming up next, our championship game. Number 1 UCLA, number 4 Mississippi State to follow at 3:30 Eastern. Our final in this game, it's the Tennessee Volunteers 3, the Virginia Tech Hokies 1.